Hello again. Thank you for tuning in to Miami Review. My name is Frank Pichel. I'm your host. Here we endeavor to tell the truth about the corruption that we're experiencing in Miami-Dade County and basically the entire state and the nation. It is unfortunate that we live in these times. It is unfortunate that our elected officials use our tax dollars to manipulate the police, the fire, the code enforcement, just to get what they want. Now, again, these are public servants. They serve the public. They serve us. We have become a nation of paid slaves. Just continue to pay taxes so the corrupt elected officials can do what they want. They've weaponized all our public servants so they can use them to whatever they want, their end, their goals, their misconduct, all the above. Today again, I have my former partner, Nelson Correa, who has 43 years of experience in law enforcement. Nelson?
Thank you, Frank.
No, thank you.
It's always a pleasure to come on your show.
It takes a lot of courage to be here and telling the truth, not because we read it, but because we experienced it. On the last show, we were talking about how the police and how we were trained to deal with the homeless. You remember that?
Well, it was basically very little training at the beginning.
What training was it? The training that I had was pick them up in a van and throw them into another city or the county.
Well, that was the training we received from our field training officers.
But was that training, or was that just,
No, that was just a way of life.
a way of getting rid of what they didn't want? Especially when we had something like the Super Bowl, Calle Ocho, or anything, any football game where
Anything important.
yeah, where we were
The Grand Prix.
the Grand Prix, where we were in the Miami was in the spotlight of the media because of those events.
Parade, yeah.
I remember that. I remember how Camina's house came about, and we're going to talk back into the 80s. Okay, I remember that Father Paul sued the city of Miami for abusing the rights of the homeless people because we had no training. The city of Miami in federal court could not provide any training or pamphlets as to how to deal with homeless people, except that we picked them up and threw them somewhere else, so it became somebody else's problem.
That's how it was.
You know, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that our citizens, the taxpayers that we work for, paid for all this abuse.
Yeah, because once you dump them somewhere else, they become those taxpayers' problems.
Exactly, and then
You're not really dealing with the problem, you're transferring it.
no, you're kicking the can down the street.
Yeah.
Or into another municipality, so it becomes their problem. I'll call fade to that.
Why not?
Because, unfortunately, this became a chronic problem to the point where I remember that one cop shot and killed a homeless person. Tell us about that, Nelson.
That was on Biscayne Boulevard, I think 18th Street. It was a window washer, homeless.
So somebody that does your window and you wants a tip?
Exactly.
Is that a crime?
That's not a crime because you don't have to give them anything.
But is it a crime to be there and wash your window and expect a tip? Is there any statute against that?
No.
So it's not a crime?
No, but I think they made it later on, a city ordinance.
No, that's an ordinance. Okay, it's not state statute.
No, not
Okay,
state.
city the city can put any ordinance they want until it gets challenged in court.
Correct.
And again, back to Father Paul. Well, please continue about that incident.
Well, I remember actually I saw it in the news
Mm-hmm.
that this police officer,
Whose name?
I can't remember his name, but his first name was Efrain,
Efrain.
but I cannot remember his last name. He shot and killed a window washer.
And that was unarmed.
That's correct.
Okay. And what happened to him later on?
So he got fired.
Did he ever get charged or arrested?
No.
So, again, the City of Miami Police Department covered it up. In fact, the shootings and investigations by police officers in the City of Miami became so chronic and so unbelievable that a few years ago, the right to investigate any police shooting by the City of Miami Police Department can't be handled by their homicide unit because of all the bad crimes that they covered up or charged other people with that later on were overturned. So now the City of Miami Police Department cannot investigate its own shootings. FTLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, are tasked with that duty now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, that is so embarrassing.
It is.
And it tells you a lot about the mismanagement and incompetence that's permeating the City of Miami Police Department.
I always felt that our homicide unit did a very good job of investigating police shootings.
Also later on, it came back that through DNA evidence and other evidence, most of those were overturned because the homicide unit lied and manipulated evidence just to get a conviction or justify a shooting.
Yeah.
Remember those articles? And that's the reason why the City of Miami cannot self-investigate its own police shooting.
That's true.
Which is embarrassing. It tells you a lot about the quality or the absence of quality that we have in the City of Miami Police Department. But you know what? It's all good. We're going to continue this conversation on our next segment. Again, thank you for joining us. Nelson, thank you again for being here.
My pleasure.
It takes great courage. Frank Pichel, thank you for watching our show. God bless you and God bless America.